So this is my Class B truck. I'm going to do pre-trip inspection on the outside. So I'm looking at my truck from left to right to see if it's leaning. If it were, it would be due to two things: a broken suspension or a deflated tire. I'm looking underneath my vehicle for any puddles, leaks that will probably come from my engine compartment. This will notify me that I might have an engine problem. Looking at the top of my vehicle, I see that I have my marker lights. They're amber in color. They're not cracked or chipped, and there's no damage. My headlight assembly. I have my driver and passenger side headlights, which are high beam and low beam. No signs of condensation, they're not cracked or chipped, there's no damage there. My driver and passenger side amber four-way and signal lights, securely mounted, not cracked or chipped. So now I'm going to open my hood. Start on the passenger side, so I'm going to name off my uniques. All right, this is my exhaust pipe, securely mounted with J-hooks. There's no holes, no dents, and no signs of soot. It extends past the cab of my truck to prevent fumes from going inside the cab. We're gonna come over here to the engine compartment on the passenger side. So we're gonna start with our alternator. Alternator is securely mounted to the engine. It's not bent or broken. All hardware is in place. The wires are not cut or frayed, and it is belt driven. Belt driven. Down in the middle, you can't actually see it, but down here is my water pump. My water pump is securely mounted, not cracked or broken, and it's not leaking. And it is also belt driven. This is my alternator belt. My alternator belt is not cut or frayed. It has no more than 3/4 play when pushed in the middle, and there's no damage on it. Now, all my hoses and my wires are securely mounted throughout the engine compartment. There are no abrasions, bulges, or cuts on my hoses. There are no cut or splice wires on my wires. So we're gonna walk around to the driver's side. Now, what I like to do, I like to start from the top and work my way down. So the first thing I have is my oil dipstick. I will pull it out, wipe it, reinsert, pull it out again, and check the level. If I need to add, I would add here in the oil field. Inside here is my air compressor. My air compressor is securely mounted to the engine block. All hoses and hardware are tightly fitted, and there are no audible leaks. Behind it is my power steering pump. My power steering pump is also mounted to the engine block. Securely mounted. All hoses are not cut or frayed, and I see no leaks. This is my power steering canister, securely mounted. It's at the operating level, and it's secure with the cap. The hose from it, it's not cut or frayed, no bulges, and it's secure with the clamp on both ends, and there's no signs of leaks. This is my steering shaft. Let me start back. This is my coolant reservoir. My coolant reservoir is securely mounted. It's not cracked or chipped. It's not leaking. It's at the operating level, and it's secure with the cap. The hoses from it are not cut or frayed, not leaking, and they're secure with the clamp on both ends. Also, this hose is securely mounted on both ends with clamps, not cut or frayed and not leaking. This is my steering shaft, securely mounted. It's straight, not bent or broken, secure with universal joint, which is properly greased. This is my steering gearbox. It's securely mounted to the frame. All hardware is in place. It's not leaking, and the hoses from it also are securely mounted with clamps, and it's not leaking. So this is my pivot arm, my drag link, my upper steering knuckle. Behind it is my tie rod and tie rod end. If you need to come in and take a better look at that, I'll repeat it. So this is my pivot arm, my drag link, my upper steering knuckle, tie rod and tie rod end. You got it? They're not bent or broken, and they're secure with castle nuts and cotter pins, okay? Castle nuts and cotter pins. That's what that is. All right, staying inside my vehicle, I'm gonna go to my suspension. That completed my steering. So I'm going to my suspension. So these are my spring mounts, one front, one aft to the back. Securely mounted to the frame, not bent or broken. All hardware is in place. There are no excessive wear on the bushing. These are my spring leaves. They're securely mounted to the axle with U-bolts. My U-bolts are not bent or broken, and they're securely mounted with 4 nuts on the bottom. My leaf springs are not missing and are not shifting. This is my shock absorber, securely mounted to the frame. It's not dented, it's not leaking, and there's no damage to it. The bushings top and bottom. There's no excessive wear. So now we're gonna go to our braking system. So I'm gonna go back here so you can get a better view. So this is my brake chamber hose and ABS line. It's not cut or frayed, and there are no audible leaks. This is my brake chamber, securely mounted, not cracked, bent, or broken, secure with the clamp, and it's also not leaking, no audible leaks. This is my push rod and slack adjuster. All hardware is in place, all pins are in place, and it should be, when the brakes are chalked, when the brakes are released and the wheels are chalked, I should be able to pull this maybe only 1 inch. 1 inch of play when pulled when the brakes are released. Okay, I'm gonna work inside. Now inside I have my brake chamber, my brake drum. My brake drum is not cracked, bent, or broken. No illegal wheels, free of oil, grease, and debris. Then I have my brake pad and lining. There's no excessive wear. They're not cracked or bent, and it should have no less than 3/4 of material on the pad. Okay, we're gonna come to the tire. So we have inside, outside wall of the tire. There's no cupping, abrasions, or bulges or cuts. The top of my tire is evenly worn. My tread depth is 432, and it should be at 100 psi, and I would check it daily with a manufactured tire gauge, and it should read 100 psi. So this is my metal valve stem. It's straight, not bent or broken, not leaking, and it should be secured with a cap. So I'll report that to maintenance that I don't have a cap on it. So this is my rim, my outside and my inside rim, securely mounted to the tire. My tire is securely mounted to my rim. If there was any separation, I would see rust trails indicating that my tire is separated from my rim. My rim has no illegal welds. My lug nuts, all are present, none are loose. If they were, I would see rust trails or metal shavings. This is my hub oil seal. All hardware is present, it's not leaking, and it's at operating level. Okay? So now we're gonna move to the door. So this is my mirror bracket. My mirror bracket is securely mounted to my door. All hardware is in place. It's not bent or broken, and it's securely mounted. This is my flat mirror. This is my convex mirror. It's not cracked or chipped. It's clear in view. There's no damage. So this is my door. There's no holes, no dents. It looks like it's in perfect condition. My door handle works properly. It opens. My seal around my door is not cut or frayed, and it's not leaking. My door hinges. All hardware is in place. There's none missing, and there's no damage to my door, and my door is not sagging. And my door closes properly. So this is my fuel tank and my steps. They're securely mounted to the frame with rubber backing, with metal straps and rubber backing. My steps are not bent or broken. This one happens to be bent, so I'll report it to maintenance. There's free of all grease and debris to prevent a slip hazard, so make sure they're clean. This is my fuel cap. It's securely mounted with a metal chain and a rubber seal. I see no leaks. My electric wires and my hoses are not cut or frayed. I see no leaks, and there's no cut or frayed wires. This is my grab bar, securely mounted to the cab of my truck. It holds my weight, and it's securely mounted. All hardware is in place.